Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Welcome to a new day. I hope you're doing great today, had a good sleep, and you're feeling good this morning. And what have you got planned for the day? You going out, spend time with friends? You got dinner with, lunch with someone? Are you going to hang out with the grandchildren, or perhaps just spend the time at home? Got some work to do, and maybe you're going to work. We still have a lot of women in our community who are working, and I think that's going to be the pace of our lives for a long time. To, not just necessarily because we need to, but because we want to. And I want to be here with you. I love it. So thanks again for being here and for being such a great group of women. It's wonderful. And I've got my cup of tea this morning. I'm drinking my Earl Grey tea, if I can turn it around. Earl Grey is one of the favorites that whenever I ask you about your favorite cups of tea, you often say that you're drinking Earl Grey. So I'm drinking in empathy, in solidarity with you today. So hope that you're doing great. And let's have a nice conversation here about something that I think you'll find interesting. Now, I want to thank Puritan's Pride, our sponsor for this edition of Mornings with 60 and Me. We do pay a lot of attention to well-being and health. We think it's super important for women in their 60s. And so we're really happy to put a focus on that. So I invite you to go out to the Puritan's Pride website and learn how the right nutrition can help to really contribute to a healthy lifestyle. So thanks to Puritan's Pride. Now, the topic today, retirement, transitioning, letting go. We talk about it a lot, but in a way, it's kind of fundamental to everything. If we talk about fashion or beauty, or we talk about travel, it's all from the lens, all from the perspective of how you are accepting or embracing you in your 60s. Then everything else becomes easy. Once you know who you are, what you're doing, I think it's really, really important. Now, Hillary Henderson is one of our bloggers, and she wrote this article on finding your new identity. Your new identity after 60. How do you do that? And really saying goodbye to the old one. And she uses a model that I'm very familiar with because she talks about the stages of progress, or in the stages of dealing with death that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross spoke about. And I actually worked with Elizabeth maybe, 40 years ago, a long time ago, when she was organizing her workshops in Europe. And I was actually here in London, and I was helping her do her workshops on life, death, and transition. And she used, as many of you know, this 7-stage process for dealing with change. And in her case, it was dealing with the death of someone that you love, or your own death. But anyway, Hillary uses that model, and I think it works really well for all kinds of transitional stages in your life. So this is about saying goodbye to your old self and welcoming the new one. So we have to leave our things behind, and that's always challenging. Change is hard, and there are stages of letting go. Now, grieving, grieving loss of identity is just like grieving loss of any state of mind. I mean, we just have to grieve the old person and let it go. I mean, I actually celebrate the old person too, because I think I look back on my life and I think I did some pretty cool things, and I'm doing some wonderful things too. So it's all about grieving just the letting go of things that I can't change. The people that are no longer in my life because of choices that we made. The things that, the people that I've loved who are no longer part of my world. And, those things I have to grieve a little bit for, but I have to let them go. And so that first stage of, moving, just making the decision to move ahead is the first thing. And by the way, these stages are in no way logical or sequential. They actually do, honestly, you hop back and forth from the stage of denial to the stage of acceptance and everything in between. So denial. Truth, I was 59 for 4 years. That was denial. I didn't want to be 60. I just didn't think it was very cool. I worked in a younger company. I worked in a place where youth was celebrated and had currency and it had value. And for me, being old just put me outside of the community. It was completely wrong, of course, but that was my denial. And I think we go through that where there's kind of this shock and this fear. Wow, 60 sounds like a very old age. 50 just sounds young. But anyway, as it was, denial is the first stage. And you have to sometimes delay the planning and take it as you can. Denial's natural. Next thing is anger. This is an anger, an irritation, anxiety that things are not as you expected they would be. Nothing's turned out how you thought it would. You're not living in the big house with the big car, with the whatever you've in the past measured your success on. It just didn't work out like that. You were too busy living life. You didn't plan. You didn't save, or if you did save, you lost it in one of the many bumps in the stock market and crashes that happened in our lifetime. And it's just like no idea. What am I going to do? Like, how am I going to survive? And angry at yourself that how could you let yourself get to this point kind of state of mind. Natural, let it go. You did the best. I mean, we talk about this often, but you did the best you could, so let's just move on. Anger is the next stage, and that comes and goes. Depression. Now, this is a result in a way of not dealing with anger. It's that sense of, I failed. I tried the best I could, but honestly, I was a complete failure. I didn't do a good job as a mom. I wasn't a very good wife. I really didn't give much to my friend. Whatever you say to yourself, it's just that kind of sign of depression that you're giving up. You just have done. It's not worth it. And of course, putting your head in the sand is not going to help. It's not going to help you get out of it. So again, these are all these stages that that we talk about, and I think that once you embrace it as a next logical step, you can move forward. Now, another step that a lot of people go through when they're dealing with their retirement or thinking about planning for the future is to bargain. Now, bargaining is a very big part of the process Elizabeth talks about. It's like, mostly to God. If you'll just get me through this situation, I promise I will, whatever. But in the case of redefining your identity, it's more of a way of just trying to talk to people about it. Get validation. So you turn to your friends. Maybe you have a counselor, psychiatrist, someone that can objectively listen to what you're going through. Because honestly, part of it in that 50, 60 plus year range, you start to panic. You really don't feel like you've got any grounding, and you're on your own. You're feeling lost, troubled, and so that bargaining kind of goes on with if I do this volunteering, or if I do this work, if I find my purpose, then somehow all this is going to be okay. It's all going to be worthwhile, and it really isn't. So I think that that's an important one to remember. Bargaining is okay, go for it, but don't freak out too much if you don't find the answers there. It's really, really important. Another thing then, finally, as you reach through this bargaining stage and you've reached out to friends, you've done all kinds of cool stuff to find balance, is acceptance. Now, acceptance, as I said, with all these stages, comes and goes. One minute you feel like, thank goodness I'm through that. I'm retired, yay, and it's all good. And then the next minute you're panicking, or you're in anger or fear. And it's just a circle. But this circle eventually leads to acceptance. And it's just that point where you're ready to go now. You've got your running shoes on, you've got the clothes on you that match your personality, you've downsized, you're just free, and you're ready to embrace new opportunities, new things, new people, new places, and you're just ready to let everything else stay in its place. If you have children, you have to let them go. You've done a great job as a mom. Let them live their lives now. Make these adjustments for yourself now. And I know that's hard. I mean, I'm the first one to say how difficult that is, especially if you've got grandchildren in your life. It's very challenging to want to let that go. You see that as the next continuation of your generation, and you want to be a part of it. And you are. And it's not just grandchildren. It's the projects you start. It's all those little things that keep you in a loop that you maybe want to be free of in your retirement. And maybe you don't want to retire. Maybe your acceptance is that you're going to work for another 20 years. Who cares? You love it. You love your work. You love what you do. You've got an idea for a new business. You're really going to make the most of this time on the planet. And so acceptance is very diverse and very broad, and will be different for different people. But introspection and meditation, thinking about these stages, kind of where am I right now? Where are you right now? I think I'm somewhere between acceptance and, no, I'm not in denial. What other one was I? I think I'm kind of in acceptance and bargaining, talking it through. So anyway, where are you on it? I'd love to know what you think about this conversation. How do you, where are you on this road to acceptance as you're in your life as a retired woman? How's your head at the moment on that? Where are you on the road to acceptance? Can you identify any of those stages that you're in? Or are you like enjoying it and you're there? Leave your comment in the section below. Let's have a conversation. Thanks again for being here. Thank you so much for your energy and engagement and passion, and for supporting each other, for giving virtual hugs. Tell us where you are on the path to acceptance in your retirement. Look forward to your comments, everyone. Have a fabulous day. Do something great for yourself. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye for now.